Good morning. Today we are finishing up our chapter B, doing our readings from Exodus. So let's do a quick review of our key words and definitions. Slavery is the state of a person who is the property and of wholly subject to another person. Ancestor is the person from whom one is descended, so the people that came before us. Passover, the event that led to the release of the Jewish people from captivity in Egypt. So when the angel of death passed over, then they were released out of their slavery. Decalogue, remember deca means 10. So deca is 10, log is word. So it literally means 10 words, and it's referring to those 10 commandments. So we heard God's voice. God's voice is heard in the burning bush was our first section that we read in Exodus. When Moses hears from God that God wants him to be the spokesperson, to go to Pharaoh to release his people. Moses gives lots of excuses. That's what Moses gives lots of excuses. Oh, why me? Just this normal, ordinary person. I can't do this, I can't do that, they won't listen to me. And God doesn't accept his excuses. He gives him what he needs to be able to do this task. God will always provide for you to do what he needs you to do. Angel of death passes over. That's the actual Passover event. The Egyptians are so upset that the firstborns are killed that they let the Israelites go. But then they change their minds. And they say, what did we do? We just let all of our slaves go. We can't do that. We need them to be our slaves to do our work. So they chase after them. And then Moses parts the Red Sea. And when the Egyptians follow them through the sea, the water closes back up over them. Today we are working on God lays down the laws. Guessing by our keywords. We learned about the Decalogue with the 10 Commandments. We haven't read it yet in Exodus. It's our last section in Exodus. So I'm guessing this story is going to be about the 10 Commandments. So we are on Exodus chapter 19 and 20. Chapter 19, Covenant and Legislation at Mount Sinai. In the third month after the Israelites' departure from the land of Egypt, so they've been wandering for 3 months after they left Egypt. They're going through the desert. 3 months is a long time to be walking. On the first day, they came to the wilderness of Sinai. After they made the journey from Rephidim and entered the wilderness of Sinai, they then pitched camp in the wilderness. While Israel was encamped there in front of the mountain, Moses went up to the mountain of God. Then the Lord called to him from the mountain, saying, "This is what you will say to the house of Jacob. Tell the Israelites, you have seen how I treated the Egyptians and how I bore you up on eagle's wings and brought you to myself. Now, if you obey me completely and keep my covenant, you will be my treasured possession among all peoples, though all the earth is mine. You will be to me a kingdom of priests, a holy nation. That is what you must tell the Israelites." So Moses went and summoned the elders of the people. When he set before them all that the Lord had ordered him to tell them, all the people answered together, "Everything the Lord has said, we will do." Moses brought back to the Lord the response of the people. The Lord said to Moses, "I am coming to you now in a dense cloud, so that when the people hear me speaking with you, they will also remain faithful to you." When Moses then reported the response of the people to the Lord said to Moses, "Go to the people and have them sanctify themselves today and tomorrow. Have them wash their garments and be ready for the third day. For on the third day the Lord will come down on Mount Sinai in the sight of all the people. Set limits for the people all around, saying, 'Take care not to go up the mountain or even touch its edge. All who touch the mountain must be put to death. No hand shall touch them, but they must be stoned to death or killed with arrows. Whether human being or beast, they must not be allowed to live. Only when the ram's horns sound may they go up on the mountain. So God is saying, he's being very strict and stern, saying you cannot go up the mountain. Just Moses. So then Moses came down from the mountain to the people and had them sanctify themselves, and they washed their garments. He said to the people, be ready for the third day. Do not approach a woman. On the morning of the third day, there were peals of thunder and lightning, and a heavy cloud over the mountain, and a very loud blast of the shofar, so that all the people in the camp trembled. But Moses led the people out of the camp to meet God, and they stationed themselves at the foot of the mountain. Now Mount Sinai was completely enveloped in smoke, because the Lord had come down upon it in fire. The smoke rose from it as though from a kiln, and the whole mountain trembled violently. The blast of the shofar grew louder and louder while Moses was speaking, and God was answering him with thunder. When the Lord came down upon Mount Sinai to the top of the mountain, the Lord summoned Moses to the top of the mountain, and Moses went up. Then the Lord told Moses, go down and warn the people not to break through to the Lord in order to see him. Otherwise, many of them will be struck down. For their part, the priests who approach the Lord must sanctify themselves, else the Lord will break out in anger against them. But Moses said to the Lord, the people cannot go up to Mount Sinai, for you yourself warned us, saying, set limits around the mountain and make it sacred. So the Lord said to him, go down and come up along with Aaron, but do not let the priests and the people break through to come up to the Lord, else he will break out against them. So Moses went down to the people and spoke to them. Again, do not come up the mountain. Then God spoke all these words. I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of slavery. You shall not have other gods beside me. You shall not make for yourself an idol. Ooh, what do we know that is? That's the beginning of the 10 Commandments. You shall not make or a likeness or anything in the heavens above or on the earth below or in the waters beneath the earth. You shall not bow down before them or serve them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, inflicting punishment for their ancestors' wickedness on the children of those who hate me, down to the 3rd and 4th generation, but showing love down to the 1000th generation of those who love me and keep my commandments. You shall not invoke the name of the Lord your God in vain, for the Lord will not leave unpunished anyone who invokes his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day, keep it holy. 6 days you may labor and do all your work, but the 7th day is a Sabbath of the Lord your God. You shall not do any work, either you, your son, or your daughter, your male or female slave, your work animal, or the resident alien within your gates. For 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea and all that is in them, but on the 7th day he rested. That is why the Lord has blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy. Honor your father and your mother, that you may have a long life in the land the Lord your God is giving you. You shall not kill. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, his male or female slave, his ox or donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor. Moses accepted as mediator. Now, as all the people witnessed the thunder and lightning, the blast of the shofar and the mountain smoking, they became afraid and trembled. So they took up a position farther away and said to Moses, you speak to us and we will listen, but do not let God speak to us or we shall die. Moses answered the people, do not be afraid, for God has come only to test you and put the fear of him upon you, so you do not sin. So the people remained at a distance while Moses approached the dark cloud where God was. The covenant code. The Lord said to Moses, this is what you will say to the Israelites. You have seen for yourselves that I have spoken to you from heaven. You shall not make alongside of me gods of silver, nor shall you make yourselves gods of gold. An altar of earth make for me, and sacrifice upon it your burnt offerings and communion sacrifices, your sheep and your oxen, in every place where I cause my name to be invoked, will come to you and bless you. But if you make an altar of stone for me, do not build it out of cut stone, for by putting a chisel to it you profane it. You shall not ascend to my altar by steps, lest your nakedness be exposed. So God is being very strict. He's saying this is exactly what you should do and how you should do it. Do not alter from that. I've given you the 10 Commandments. You know exactly how you should live your lives, and I expect you to live it this way. So with that, we're going to finish our reading guide. We have that last section. Those last 5 are true and falses. So you need to make sure to work on that. So Will, if you remember the answers, you can do it on the Google Classroom assignment right now so we can correct it. Tristan, do it on the Google Classroom assignment. Those of you that are at home listening, you need to have your reading guide done so we can get that into the grade book. We will be correcting it shortly. So if you have it on paper, bring it when you return. If you do not, do the Google Classroom assignment from the beginning of Chapter B. We hope you are well and have a good day.